Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ajwa. In this video, I want to discuss some 7 fragrances, Middle Eastern fragrances that I have decluttered in the last couple of months. One I decluttered as late as yesterday. It was the last one I let go, and I'll give you the reasons why I had to let some of these fragrances go. Some of them, I just didn't like them from day one. Others took a nosedive whilst I had them, and I thought other people would appreciate them the more, so I'll let you know the reasons why I had to let go of these 7 fragrances. And the first one I have here is going to be Vintage Radio by Lattafa from the Pride collection. Yeah, this one, I remember recommending this like over and over, and I will still recommend this, fragrance, Vintage Radio, with that heavy, sweet Palestine toll, plum, and other florals. Beautiful, like clean, fresh, calming, soothing one. But I never found myself gravitating towards that, as a fragrance that I would wear for myself. For some reason, I always saw this, giving me a very warm, air freshener vibe. It's more of a very beautiful, woody, floral air freshener vibe, and I couldn't see myself wearing it. The more I tested it, the more I was assured. I just told myself, no, I can't do this. Although it is beautiful, I don't see myself wearing it. Anytime I wore it, it just reminded me of a very beautiful, warm, calming, relaxing room spray or air freshener, and I never really gravitated towards it, after a while. So I have since been able to sell that one, and the person who bought it, seemed to be loving that fragrance. So I'm glad it, went to a good home. So Vintage Radio is gone. Not that I had any major issue with it. The scent profile is beautiful, but it just wasn't what I was expecting. I was expecting, I don't know, it just felt like room spray to me, for some reason that I can't explain. So because of that, I wasn't really wearing it. I used it a few occasions as room spray, and I just thought of, selling it, and I've been able to do so. The next fragrance I have here is going to be Ragbah. It's been a while I spoke about Ragbah on this channel. I had it, I think I featured it in 1 or 2 videos, and I never spoke about it. And Ragbah, everybody knows, if you have been on this channel, you know that I'm not a fan of Ragbah. It smells like a heavy saliva, from a heavy smoker, saliva from a heavy smoker. That is how I've always described that, and that is how it smells to me. So for that reason, I couldn't even sell Ragbah. I just felt like, why would I sell something that I think you love it, so I gave it out to someone, and fortunately that particular person really likes this, Ragbah fragrance. She liked it, so yeah, I've given it to her, and yeah, that's it. The third one on this list is going to be Hawaa Pink by Zimaya. Yes, I've decluttered it just yesterday. I had to give it to someone else, because I just couldn't see myself reaching out for Hawaa Pink by Zimaya. Yes, the argument was there, everything. It is just not for me. It didn't macerate well, it didn't just macerate well, although it is still a lovely fragrance, but even if I decided to keep it, or if I had kept this fragrance, I don't think I would have ever reached out for, Hawaa Pink by Zimaya. I would have never reached out for it, and there's no point keeping a fragrance that I know deep within me I wasn't going to reach out for. So I have since given it out. I couldn't sell it, or I didn't want to sell it. I just gifted it out to a female friend. So that is going to be Hawaa Pink by Zimaya. The next one on this line is a fragrance that a lot of people have raved about. I sort of understand the whole hype, but it feels juvenile to me, I don't know. It just feels juvenile to me. It doesn't seem like a fragrance I would gravitate towards, although nowadays I like, some of these juvenile smelling, girly, flirty fragrances. Sublime was okay for me. Lattafa Sublime, it's always been okay for me, Initially, it was like, oh, okay, it's sweet, it's, apple, I think apple and other, fruits. It's beautiful, but I found myself using it less and less. I think in the last couple of months, I have hardly reached out for Sublime, even though it is supposed to be a very happy-go-lucky, easy reach fragrance, compliment magnet and all those. I never really reached out for it. I guess felt it was one of those meh, people normally refer to as those meh fragrances. That is how it felt to me. And although it is still beautiful, quite simple, that I wouldn't necessarily say I would 100% recommend. I would say go for something like Care Fusion over Sublime. I like the sense DNA of Care Fusion a lot more than Sublime. It gives me something a little more than Sublime. So I just found myself not reaching out for Sublime, and I have since been able to sell Sublime too. I've been able to sell Sublime too. So the next one on this list that I gifted out, it's sort of marketed towards men. Lattafa Fakka Gold, beautiful. As a matter of fact, I bought that fragrance twice. As a matter of fact, the first one I bought, I remember doing my review. Then I went to the shopping mall to compare. I think I even have a video of that I'll put in the description. I went to the shopping mall to compare Fakhar Rose with 1 million 1 million elixir or something by Fakka Ragbah, because I wanted to confirm the rumor that it was inspired by that. So I went to the shopping mall with the fragrance. As soon as I got back, I went with my daughter. When we got back and we were taking things from my car, she just picked it up, and broke it, unfortunately. But I loved it that much that I had to buy a second bottle of Fakka Gold, by Lattafa, which is like a bit masculine leaning. Although, if you love, male barbershop sort of, DNA, you would appreciate that, but I bought it for the second time. And then a friend requested that I gift it to him, because he smelt it and, he wanted it, so I have since gifted Fakka Extrait or the Gold to, to a male friend. And it's one I would have loved to still have in my collection. I would still have loved to have that in my collection. But since he, loved it, and I also wanted to gift him something, I asked him to choose something among my fragrances. And when he smelt that was the one he wanted. So I have since gifted Fakka Rose to a friend. The next one I have here is going to be Ahhubak Love in Paris by Ard Al Zaafaran. It's a fragrance I've not really spoken about severally, but I think I've featured it in a couple of times. It is a quiet, simple berries, and some vanilla one. Nothing out of the ordinary, but still not a bad fragrance at all. Ahhubak Love in Paris by Ard Al Zaafaran. That is a fragrance I found myself reaching out, less and less for, because I had other, I've always had other things that, I gravitate towards more. And I was just not using it. It's a good one, it's not the best of fragrances I have come across, in terms of berries and, vanillas and florals, it is a good, girly fruity floral one. It's beautiful, but I just didn't see myself gravitating towards it, and I have since let Ahhubak Love in Paris by Ard Al Zaafaran go. I saw that one too. It was the same person who bought Sublime and then Vintage Radio who bought the Ahhubak Love in Paris. I just gave it as a bundle to her, and she says she enjoys them. So that is a good thing. It's good to have people appreciating stuff when you let them go. So Ahhubak Love in Paris is also good. So those are the yes, and the last one here is going to be Saheb, also from Ard Al Zaafaran. Saheb, also from Ard Al Zaafaran. That is a very beautiful masculine leaning one. It's beautiful. It's sort of that's barbershop feel. It gives you a bit of a barbershop feel. It sort of reminds you of Assad, it sort of gives you that Assad feel. It's beautiful. It's masculine. But I didn't really have a lot of uses for it, and after a while, I gifted it to someone, I just couldn't see myself utilizing it as much as I utilized like male dominant fragrances like which one? That Creed Aventus DNA, I have a dupe of that I still use, because I love it, but when it came to Saheb from Ard Al Zaafaran, I just felt the need to let it go because I wasn't using it and it felt more masculine, to me than, other fragrances I would usually gravitate towards, So that has been the 7 fragrances I have let go in the last couple of months, and just yesterday with Hawaa Pink by Zimaya. And yeah, that is going to be it for today. And I hope this video found you well. Please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up, and I hope to see you in my next one. Take care. Bye bye.